Thanks for joining me today. This video about Lewy body dementia was requested by one of our viewers, Sandra M. So here it is, just for you, Sandra. Thank you for asking for this information. I'm sure it will help many other families. And if someone else out there, if you need information on a topic, just ask and I'll make a video for you, just like I made this one for Sandra M. So thanks, Sandra. Here we go. It should shock you that 50% of Lewy body cases are misdiagnosed. That is staggering. I'm Debra, your dementia specialist. I founded Answers About Alzheimer's because I have a wealth of knowledge to share, and there are so many people out there who need help. Dementia education is my life's purpose. I want to thank all of you for your compliments and your comments and your questions. Keep them coming. I will reply to you as soon as possible. In fact, I have a surprise for some of you who have left me comments. I'm making a video dedicated to you, so watch for that to come out soon. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The training and topic for today is Lewy body dementia. There are over 100 different types of dementia, and Lewy bodies is the second most common dementia, taking a back seat to Alzheimer's disease. So even though Lewy bodies is the second most common dementia, it is frequently misdiagnosed. Some of the reasons that this is happening is because the early signs have some of the same characteristics as Parkinson's, sleep disorders, Alzheimer's disease, and psychiatric illnesses such as schizophrenia. On average, a diagnosis will take 18 months. Wow. Doctors who are not experienced with Lewy bodies are likely to misdiagnose. Early detection is very important for maintaining quality of life and to ease the severity of the symptoms. People with Lewy bodies often respond differently, I guess I should say respond badly, to some medications. Meds that are commonly prescribed for mood or sleep disorders have severe side effects for people with Lewy bodies dementia. And mood and sleep disruptions are very, very common early symptoms that we're going to cover more in depth in a few minutes. The risk factors for this devastating dementia include age. If you are over the age of 60, you are considered at higher risk. If you are a male, you have double the risk than your female counterparts. If you've had a head injury, a history of depression or anxiety, these increase your risk. And if you've had a family history with a first-degree family member, like a sibling or a parent, who's had Parkinson's disease or Lewy bodies disease, these all increase your risk. I'm often asked, what is the life expectancy of a person with Lewy bodies disease? And the life expectancy is approximately 5 to 8 years after the onset of symptoms. Dementia with Lewy bodies is caused by abnormal deposits of a protein called alpha-synuclein. These proteins disrupt the communication between the brain cells, affecting memory, critical thinking, and physical movements. This is a progressive decline, including hallucinations. As Lewy bodies develops, the early warning signs can be misinterpreted by medical professions as a sleep disorder or even mental illness. The early signs include hallucinations. These hallucinations are vivid and can commonly include people, children, shapes, and animals. In the early stages, Lewy body dementia will not typically include memory loss. However, the subject will have fluctuations in alertness. They may have difficulty with concentration and may feel unusually tired. Another early warning sign is subtle changes in movement, similar to Parkinson's. The person with this type of dementia will have problems with balance and coordination, resulting in frequent falls. People with Lewy body dementia will not have severe movement symptoms until later in the disease process. So these early subtle symptoms can be difficult to spot. If, along with the symptoms, you notice a change in disposition like paranoia, anxiety, or depression that is out of character, then this should be noted as another significant warning sign. The next early warning sign is sleep disruptions. Sleep disorders are very common with Lewy body dementia. This symptom is frequently overlooked or misdiagnosed. Sleep that has vivid dreams or sleepwalking are a sign of Lewy body dementia. Sleeping during the day, insomnia, and restless leg syndrome can all be signs to take note of. So the early warning signs are 1, hallucinations, 2, cognitive fluctuations, 3, behavior and mood fluctuations, 4, change in movement, and 5, sleep disorders. The symptoms of this disease can complicate diagnosis. Like I mentioned before, half of Lewy body dementia is misdiagnosed, primarily because the patient is being diagnosed on individual symptoms rather than a group of symptoms. For instance, the patient is treated for the sleep disorder, or they're treated for the hallucinations, and the symptoms are not necessarily grouped together. The acting out of dreams may also be misdiagnosed and treated as schizophrenia or other mental illnesses, as these can be early warning signs showing their ugly face before the onset of other typical dementia characteristics like memory loss. It makes diagnosis difficult. Like other dementias, it takes several visits with a competent doctor to evaluate and diagnose any form of dementia. The other symptoms commonly associated with dementia with Lewy bodies are syncope, which is a temporary loss of consciousness, or fainting caused by a sudden drop in blood pressure. If your person has dizzy or fainting spells, this is a warning sign. You may notice a change in their disposition. They may appear depressed, detached, have mood swings, and other personality changes. A common symptom of Lewy bodies is fluctuations in the attention span. The person with this type of dementia may excessively sleep during the day, taking long naps. They may also just stare off into space like they're in a trance. These fluctuations can last for hours or even days, going in and out, and have moments that they are very lucid. This is a distinctive symptom or characteristic of Lewy body dementia. People are often misdiagnosed because they can have Parkinson's-like movement disorders. So a common misdiagnosis is Parkinson's disease. They may be stiff or have rigidity. They can shuffle while walking, show signs of posture changes like stooping over, and have frequent falls. It is very intriguing that a person's gait or the way they walk can help diagnose what type of dementia the person has. With Alzheimer's disease, a person will walk slower and have even strides. But with Lewy body dementia, the person's feet or their footsteps will be at different length when comparing the right step with the left step. They won't be equal. Their steps are more irregular, and this increases the risk of falls. Other Parkinson's-like symptoms include pain, numbness, and poor motor skills with tremors. When we talk about movement, we as the caregiver can often think they're being stubborn, but it's weird how their brain is working. With Lewy bodies, they will do the opposite of what you're trying to do. So for example, if you're trying to help them get up, they will lean backwards. And that's actually the rigidity. they get stuck. And you have to wait until that particular episode is over or wait until it passes. So instead of insisting or trying to push more, you actually need to back off and relax to get the desired results. Try telling or asking them to do the opposite and see if it works. 85% of those with dementia with Lewy bodies will have REM, sleep behavior disorder, or RBD. This is one of the early warning signs that we talked about before. This can be especially difficult for staff and communities and spouses that sleep in the same bed or other caregivers in the same living environment. The person may act out their dreams, very often violent in nature. They cannot differentiate dreams from reality. They may kick, hit, yell, scream, and fight. It can be very dangerous for the caregiver. Please remove any guns from the home. I have seen a few caregiver spouses that have gotten the crap beat out of them from their husband's violent dreams. This is so challenging for caregivers. The person with Lewy body dementia can also suffer from very, very vivid hallucinations. Most often, these involve people, children, or animals. These episodes are very realistic. Do not tell the person that they are hallucinating. It will only make things worse. I have another whole video that we cover this much more in depth. I don't like to give medical advice on medications, but what I will say is do your homework. Many antipsychotic drugs actually worsen the symptoms for those with Lewy body dementia. So be very careful. And I will say, never give Haldol. Okay, moving on. Next is poor bodily functions. The autonomic function that regulates our body functions can occur fairly early in the disease process. The autonomic nervous system affects the bladder. The bladder can be overactive and needing to urinate several times per night. Even upwards of 20 times per night is not uncommon. This frequent urination can also be misdiagnosed as a prostate problem. Loss of bowel control or constipation can also be an issue, along with the heart rhythm, which is connected to our blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or a rapid heart rate, which results in the dizziness that we discussed earlier, and fainting. Also regulating the body temperature. The person can appear shivering cold or hot and sweating. They can't control their body temperature. The biggest difference between Lewy body dementia and an Alzheimer's diagnosis is the hallucinations. REM disorder, the violent dreams, and acting out on those dreams, and body movements similar to Parkinson's. I have lots more information about caring for those with dementia and how to manage hallucinations. This is really tough stuff, and I can say this, I'm glad you're here. Keep learning and keep watching my videos to make your life easier. Be sure to subscribe. Together we can.
Do you hate going into work every day because you don't know what you're walking into? Does it frustrate you that you don't have the proper training and the skills necessary to help people with Alzheimer's and dementia? Answers About Alzheimer's is launching a new certification program that will take your skills to the next level. Drop your email in the comments below or visit our website at answersaboutalz.org so that you can get notified when this program is launched.